And a very good morning. It's Mark here. It is 8:50 Eastern Time. That's 1:50 GMT. US markets have just opened. Stock markets will be opening up in just over half an hour. Bear in mind today that Europe is closed, Canada is closed as well. It's just the US that's going to be open for today's session, for the US session. And having said that, bear in mind the markets will be thin. That will lead to volatility, but that does not for 1 minute mean there won't be trading opportunities. Are always opportunities. And even if they're less, that's fine. Remember, we're looking for quality as opposed to quantity. Stick to your strategies, and I have no doubt we'll find the correct opportunities and setups that we're looking for. Let's start on the US dollar index. I've got the daily up, and there you can see very little activity today. There is let's call it a green candle. It's pretty flat. Nothing happened as yet. I've got resistance at 108.09, and the market, that's where the price is right now, sitting at resistance level, sitting at the 108 level. Buyers looking to break above and test it, and then to break above and trade above that 108 level, in keeping with the strong US dollar that we've been seeing, where sellers, because it's been pretty flat here, maybe the buyers have run out of steam. Sellers will look for a turnaround, will look on the shorter time frame for some signals, some indications of a turnaround on the shorter time frames. But for now, buyers looking above that 108 and sellers looking to come back to that 107.50 level, and the 107.25 is the support right now. Let's have a look how the S&P is shaping up before the open. And 6075. So there has been a bit of a sell-off. You can see that. There is today's red candle, come down a little bit, sitting at 6076. Buyers looking up at the 6,100, where it started the day 6097. Buyers will look to take out the open price there of 6097, come up and test the 6,100, where sellers will want to continue with what started so far pre-market activity, which has seen a sell-off. Look for that to continue, come down and test the 6,068 level. But for now, sitting in this range up here and having come down that little bit before the markets open. Let's have a look at our commodities, starting with gold. Buyers did make a little bit of a move. You can see that resistance at 2,632. Looks like they've already given up. Those gains didn't take long, or sellers stepped in at that level. And we're sitting right now at 2,622. Price action, price activity contained within this range, 2,585. But 2,600, I think, is the practical, realistic support level to look at. That's where buyers have stepped in. They've stepped in to defend that 2,600 level successfully and kept it above 2,600, but only slightly. That's the first level buyers will be looking to test and take out, 2,631, and that's been the resistance for the past week. Let's have a look at oil. 73.52. That tells me buyers are still in control. And there it is. There's buyers, a little bit up today. Very tight range, you can see, sitting between 73.16 on the downside and 73.60. There is the tight range for today. Buyers looking at testing and breaking above this high at 73.60, perhaps coming up to test $74, where sellers will look for a bounce down, whether it's from the 74 range or even where it's sitting right now at 73.70, to come back and test the 73.16 on the way back to looking at the $73 support. broader picture, bigger picture, price action between 73 and $74. And sitting right now in the middle, you can see it's 73.54. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Interesting. Interesting because it went up even a little bit yesterday with all markets closed. Bitcoin, sorry, within the crypto, Bitcoin was certainly open yesterday and tradable, and you can see went up to 99,500, almost that 100,000, 99,800, but came down today quite sharply, $5,000 range from 100,000 to 95,000, where it's sitting right now. Sellers will look to break below this 95 and get into that range between 90,000 and 95. Buyers, of course, want to keep it above 95 and trade between 95 and look back up at 100. I'm just going to zoom in on the hourly. There you can see the potential, a potential setup on Bitcoin using this base, the support of 95,000. Buyers have stepped in to defend this level, sitting right now at 95,700, and perhaps looking to come back up and get higher, get closer to the 96, 97, 98, and all the way up here to 90, let's call it 100,000. There is the $5,000 range. We're sitting at the bottom. Sellers will look to extend on the 5,000 range you've seen so far, come below 95. Buyers using this as a springboard, as a support, a floor, and possibly stepping in right now and coming back up to these earlier levels. Good trading, guys. Keep that discipline, and I'll see you at the end of day.